Need to make connections under sidewalks, streets, or driveways, but don't know where to begin? Driving pipes and rods under a sidewalk and struggling to get them back out is hard work and time-consuming. Pneumatic and hydraulic moles work fine, but are expensive to own or rent. For short, straight underground boring, Little Beaver is the best choice. Little Beaver offers two types of boring attachments to match your needs for short boring jobs up to 5 feet or longer distances up to 50 feet. The Little Beaver dry-type horizontal boring attachment uses a 5-foot-long by 3-inch diameter auger to drill under sidewalks for conduit, water pipe, or irrigation installation. A 5-foot extension with a universal or wiggle joint drives the auger, allowing the operator to remain standing while drilling. To begin, open a starter trench slightly over 6 feet long and about 3 inches wide on one side of the sidewalk. If using a trencher, it may be necessary to make more than one pass. The starter trench guides the auger as it drills under the pavement. Therefore, the trench should fit the auger as close as possible and be dug at the same depth, grade, and direction of the underground bore. Dig a short trench on the opposite side of the pavement to accept the drill as it passes from under the pavement. Attach the extension and wiggle joint to the auger and lay the auger in the starter trench. The torque tube is not used with horizontal boring due to the low drilling load. So install the horizontal drill key in the torque tube connector on the power unit to engage the safety interlock. Start the engine and allow the engine to warm up. Make sure the engine is at idle and confirm that the auger adapter is not turning. Install the extension to the auger adapter on the auger handle gearbox. Stand and hold the unit so the extension approaches the ground at an angle and the auger is flat in the bottom of the starter trench. Move the throttle to full RPM. Apply forward pressure on the handle, following the unit as the auger passes under the pavement. When the auger tip passes into the trench on the outward end of the bore, release the throttle. Press the release button and remove the handle from the extension. Lay the handle aside and use the extension to pull the auger from the hole. You will now have a clean, straight bore that's ready to install tubing or pipe. The Little Beaver wet-type horizontal boring attachment uses standard Schedule 80 3/4-inch water pipe, a special swivel adapter, and a drill point to bore horizontal holes up to 50 feet in length. This method of horizontal boring is popular for applications such as underground irrigation installation. The water swivel assembly connects between the swivel drive adapter on the drill handle and the 3/4-inch water pipe. A water hose is attached to the water swivel, and the special water drill bit is screwed on the leading end of the water pipe. As many sections of water pipe to complete the hole, plus 15 feet for the incoming end, may be assembled if room exists at the incoming end of the bore. Use stakes to mark the direction of the bore. Determine from which side of the pavement the drill will enter and sight across the stakes. Place a third stake in line with the first two, about 15 feet from the pavement. A starter trench is opened between the two stakes on one side of the sidewalk. As with the dry boring attachment, the starter trench will guide the drill as it passes under the pavement. A close fit with little room for the bit and pipe to move will assure a straight bore. Lay the bit and pipe into the starter trench. Determine the point on the opposite side of the pavement where the drill will exit from the bore. Dig a short trench to accept the drill as it passes from under the pavement. Install the horizontal drill key in the torque tube connector on the power unit to allow the engine to operate without the torque tube. Start the engine and allow the engine to warm up. Slow the engine to idle and confirm that the auger adapter is not turning. Install the swivel drive adapter to the auger adapter on the auger handle gearbox and attach a water hose to the hose connector. Turn on the water. Stand and hold the unit so the pipe has a downward bow, causing the pipe to tightly follow the bottom of the starter trench. If the length of pipe is not sufficient to make the bore as one operation, stop drilling when the handle reaches the end of the starter trench. Add another length of pipe to assure sufficient flexibility to allow the pipe to bow and follow the bottom of the trench. Move the throttle to full RPM and apply forward pressure on the handle, following the unit as the drill passes under the pavement. As the drill bit loosens soil, the stream of water coming out of the bit will carry spoil from the hole, keeping the hole flushed and open. When the drill tip passes into the trench on the outward end of the bore, release the throttle and stop the engine. Press the release button and remove the handle from the swivel adapter. Pull the assembly from the hole. You will now have a clean, straight bore, ready to install necessary tubing or pipe. Making clean, straight horizontal bores is easy and economical with Little Beaver. Ask yourself, shouldn't I be using Little Beaver? Then ask your rental yard or call Little Beaver for more information.